I want to talk about the fashion industry, actually. And I'm going to start by talking about cotton. And there was a report by Denmark recently, and this is what it said. It compared plastic and cotton, and it talked about forget waste, meaning forget litter, forget the plastic in the sea. What we want to talk about is the cost of producing it, and leave that on one side, because that you can't quantify, okay? So they compared the production of the two. If you take a plastic bag, the kind you get in a supermarket, and you reuse it once in your rubbish bin, whatever, then count that as 0.1. That's 1 point. If you make a cotton bag the same size, the points would be 20,000 in comparison, the production of it. Cotton takes so much water. Apparently, the organic cotton is the 20,000, and the rotten cotton that uses the pesticides is 7,000. But I still want to use organic cotton. You have to make the choices. The point is that cotton has to be seen as a luxury fabric. What I want, what every designer wants, is to sell beautiful clothes at the right price. And what's been going on at the moment, it is, well, let's subsidise everything by just flooding the market with lots and lots of t-shirts charged at fuck all. Anyway, so I don't want to say that, I'll say it properly, okay? Flooding the market with cheap t-shirts. And so what I did recently is I've been giving my graphics for t-shirts to charities. And the last one I gave it to was War Child, and it was a graphic about terror and stop subsidy to Saudi Arabia. Okay, that's what that was about. And you know, they made £25,000 and they sold 1,000. Now then, that can't happen anymore. They've got to sell only 100 and charge, put the O on it, so what does that make? I can't work it out. 250, I can't work it out. But I want to do something with Big Issue regarding a t-shirt. And so we're making a plan whereby this t-shirt will be sold at a price of £120, because people have got to make choices under the auspice of buy less, choose well, make it last. You know, buy less and buy quality and something you're going to need to keep and that is not going to go into landfill. Okay, so we've got to change. Now then, Extinction Rebellion, I hear, is targeting the fashion industry as being guilty of eco-unfriendliness, okay? And what I want to say is that they should challenge the high street, not so much the high fashion industry. But what they could do, they could target the high fashion industry and say, what you must do is reduce the size of your collections, be specific, reduce the size of your collections, buy less, choose well, make it last, produce in that way. And it will educate the public to make choices instead of just grabbing the latest thing in this mess. Okay, so the high fashion industry is a wonderful industry, and it is labour intensive, skilled. It's not cheap labour, just having to work in a factory that's got its dormitory next door, where they can only live for a short amount of time before they die. And I'm afraid, I think that's what the mass market feeds on. And so I just think that you've got to target people in the right way. That's what I wanted to say. And I want to mention, in my company, my husband, Andreas Krontel, my partner in my fashion industry, equal partner in my fashion industry. his last collection and the one he's doing now, it's really high fashion. It's the best in the world, sorry, but anyway, he doesn't like me saying that, but he's amazing. And he has worked twice as hard last season and this season to use fabric that would not be used. He bought it from people who it would go into landfill, old stocks, all kinds of things, and things we've got in our archive ourselves. It takes so long to program that kind of fabric rather than just buying something that's just quick offered to you and you quickly can make the choice. You've got to work it out so thoroughly. It's very, very hard work. Anyway, and I'm just saying he did that. We are very, very concerned to do high quality and to rely on the 3 R's. Reduce. You must reduce the number of items. Follow them nicely. You'll get really higher quality product, which you can sell at the right price, get the right minimums. And so reduce, that is the most important thing, much, much more than recycling, because, you know, it's obviously so much more efficient to reduce, reuse, recycle. That's what I wanted to say.